All right. So we're gonna make our demo scene with the two gingerbread men just to get Gingy set up. So I need a gingerbread man that moves around. In that scene, what we did Tuesday is fine. Just throw the camera behind the gingerbread man's shoulder, call it a day. Make it a child of him. And then I updated the script in our module. Let me just pop that open. That's basically a good hodgepodge of the animation stuff we worked on. So this, and then I basically combined all the DET basic first person controller stuff in here. So um, this will give you your mouse rotation, the camera will follow, and you've got all the same movement. And ridiculous is grounded triggers and things like that. So I just Frankenstein those together, and then they're calling the animations for the gingerbread man. So again, two scenes this week. The demo scene with gingerbread man. This is what we need, and then we're starting a second scene today. So get rid of this. I'll just show you I've got another test scene I was doing some stuff in. I'll show you what I did with this guy, and then I'll start over and we'll do it again. So basically, I made a copy of the gingerbread man script and threw it on this cowboy character that came free in another pack, and then added a whole lot of Mixamo animations to him. So we got a little bit of idle. Well, we did. I don't know why he's not doing it. We got a nice run. That's what you need. I even got some strafing going on, and then a jump that I still want to work on the landing, but I delayed the jump action to line up with his like squat and then leap up. That was kind of fun. Um, yeah, you got to do it. So many fun things. So in the past in this class, I've said go find some already animated characters, but there's so much good free animation on Mixamo. So this is the first time I've fully endorsed Mixamo in this class. Yeah, yeah. To Matthew's chagrin over here. All right, so we'll just go ahead and hide this guy. He's a copy of my guy, and then I'll show you some of the things we got. So the first thing that I did is I'll go to freeshirtlesszombie.com. No, the Unity Asset Store. I don't look that up. That sounds really sketchy. um, so if you just do a search for Mixamo, um, and then of course after that you filter to free because dang, you can get like that's why this zombie guy showed up. So he's free, and it says somewhere in his description that he works with Mixamo. There's some Ready Player Me. Jammo looks pretty cool. So there's just a sampling of characters that will work with Mixamo. The other thing you can do, peasants. We like peasants. Yeah. Um, low poly. I think we might need a low poly medieval skeleton too. Right. And to double check, what I would do is I'll just hit Control F on the screen here and start looking for Mixamo. And so either in the specs or in someone's review, if it mentions it's Mixamo compatible, you're good to go. I haven't played with this in forever. It's kind of Unity's version of like, here's a bunch of animations to throw on your stuff. I think from what I can tell, they're pretty much cross compatible. So what it needs is you need a standardized rig for these animations to work on. So I'll grab. I'm liking this guy. I was going to do this with shirtless zombie, but if this guy works, I think the skeleton, who's even more unclothed. So sorry, Alex. Oh, there's good stuff in here. We got graves. Oh yeah, there's a shirtless skeleton. This guy's got pants. So I'll add to my assets, accept the terms. We'll try it. And then from here, I'll open in Unity, download. You know what? I'm going to grab the zombie anyway while we're here. My apologies. Half of my class videos are just me shopping at the asset store. But it's fun. It's like Legos I don't have to pay for. So we'll grab that. I'll go out and grab the zombie just in case someone lied about that other one being Mixamo compatible. So then I've got two. All right, one more pack I'm going to talk about. I've already downloaded it, but I want to show it off as soon as this is done. Dun, dun, dun. So Shirtless Zombie here is 89 megs worth of goodness because it includes some 2K and 4K textures. This other one, Polygon City, that I'm going to use for this, 16 megs, and it's a full city and characters and cars and all kinds of stuff. So interesting size comparisons. Polygon City just uses flat colors. You'll pull it from a texture map, but it's not using giant 4K textures. So that's where a lot of your package size comes from. All right, let me hit the module. I'll show you a few pages that I think I've got going. Okay, so all right, so I'm going to reference this. So there's a couple of videos here. One by Cinti Studios, who did the Polygon City. You can buy Polygon City. It's on sale right now for $10, down from $20. Or this link here might have it, my copy that's already on Canvas. So you can play with that for freezies. Just you can't publish with that. So Cinti's got a video on for their particular things, how to use Mixamo. And then the guys who did the Shirtless Zombie that I just downloaded, they have a video as well for how to use their models with Mixamo. So got this page up, and then this will follow in a little bit. Third-person camera in 4 minutes. Cinemachine's flipping awesome. So we'll use that for our game level. All right, just want to level set, get all that going. All right, Mixamo.com. When you hit it, I think I've already got stuff. So you'll need your Adobe login. I would use your ACU because we get all the Adobe free. It will pop up when you put your email address in. If this is personal or company or whatever, go ahead and just say personal for whatever reason. Even though we have full access to everything, it seems like the enterprise or the company version doesn't want to play with Mixamo. It's the same account. We're just telling Adobe it's something different. So when you get here, and it went away, hello? Let me refresh the page. Okay, so I had already uploaded this little cowboy guy from our thing. So you can upload an FBX to see how they work. And as long as they have all the same settings and skeleton on them, then you're fine. So I'm going to actually do the very same thing again, and we're just going to try out either the zombie or the skeleton. Which one should we use? Yeah, I thought the skeleton looked pretty cool. So now I got to figure out polytope, maybe. Villages, props, environment, characters. Separate parts. All right. Oh, one thing for us to back up on here. So here's the FBX. Looks like. So I'm going to right click, show in Finder, show in Explorer, whichever version you're on. Yeah, so that's our FBX. So we'll upload that to Mixamo, and then we can test it out. While I'm here, you'll notice this guy's purple. So I've downloaded a bunch of different asset packs, and we did this a little bit Tuesday, but I want to show it again. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and filter for materials. And I'm just going to start grabbing all of the horrible fuchsia materials here. Select them all. And it's obviously not blue. Yeah, we've been lied to so much. Wow, this is way too many. There's a green one. It's pink, fuchsia, purple, whatever. Please be the. Oh no, it's not. All right. I'm just trying to get them all at once. If you know which ones you need to do, then you can do it that way. But I'm like, just convert all of it. Goodness. I wonder if I selected just everything, if that would just make Unity cry. Unity's kind of a big baby. I missed one. Man, we don't want purple spears. There we go. That's the one I was after. Zombies. All right. And skeletons. All right. So I've got all this selected. And again, it's just edit, rendering, materials, convert to URP. Since there's a bunch of them. Huh. Okay. Well, some of them didn't work. A bunch did. All right. Anyway, with all that done, skeleton. He's still purple. We'll figure him out. Maybe he's not. Nope, he is. Fantastic. Maybe we won't use a skeleton. Or was the zombie another one that said it couldn't convert? I don't even know what. Let me just find it. Here we go. So okay, they're just against us using this. So low poly characters, sources. Not well. I'll make another pass at this. So we'll try to use embedded materials. We'll extract. Sure, throw it there. Still purple. Huh? Ah, you're right. There we go. All right. Now he's suitably bleached. Anyway, we'll just let him hang out there. And we'll go back here and I need to upload a character. Found this. So PT male armor skeleton modular, I guess. So this is just a great way to make sure your rig, your mesh that you're using and its rig are actually Mixamo compatible. Hmm? I don't know. I really don't know. All right. So on upload, it tests out this little demo idle thing. So it looks good. And now I can just go through here and start grabbing stuff. So this double dagger stab, yeah, we want a skeleton to do that. hip hop dancing, obviously. So let me see if I can find them. There's a couple of gotchas that I couldn't get to work, so we're going to do these one at a time. I can't find them. I'll just search. So there are some packs like this. So we've got a Magic Locomotion pack, which is a whole bunch of them. I tried to download the entire pack at once, and none of them worked for me. So then I'm just going to go through and just do them one by one. So we need an idle for our skeleton. So I'm going to look for those. This guy's just breathing heavy. I don't know if that works for a skeleton. Kneeling idle, I don't know. And some of the animations you'll note, based on the color, are kind of optimized for male or female. Like there's some different movement for the female animations. Wow. Hanging idle, like dude's just hanging out. What's going on here? Idle holding a great sword, fixing his hair. And then, like, look, this one's just hanging out holding his rifle. Kind of like this. Yeah, dude, just flexing. All right, this is gonna be our idol for the skeleton. He's stretching his muscles that he doesn't have. So what worked for me was just one at a time to do these. So I'll download this. FBX is what we want. I'm gonna go ahead with the skin. I like 60 frames per second, and I'm not gonna do keyframe reduction. And so I'm just gonna download that. And then I'm just gonna get these FBXs back. Since I want to apply them to the skeleton, it makes sense to have the skeleton in here, but you don't have to. But this is just a way to test that it's going to work. So this should work. So I should get this ridiculous flexing idle now. So let me just go into my own prefab here. So I'm just going to drag them in here. Well, yeah. My meshes. I'll drag them into there. So that's what we want. I'm going to do a test folder in here for now inside my meshes. Go find the thing that I just downloaded, which is Mutant Idle, is what it's called. And we'll drag it in. All right. That'll be the first of it. So this is not this guy. This is it's a new mesh, right? This is the old one. This one that I just downloaded is the same guy, but he's got animations already applied to him. So I'm just going to use the idle as a base and start building on him. So I'm going to rename this guy to Skeleton Animated and go do some stuff. So here on the rig, for the import settings for the guy that I described, I'm going to go ahead and change that to humanoid and hit apply. And if I needed to break that animation up, I could. One thing to also note is everything we download, the name of the clip is going to be mixamo.com because brand awareness, I don't know. So you can rename those as desired. So I'm just going to rename that to idle, and I want it to loop. So he's going to stand there and flex endlessly, and I think everything else is fine. So I'm going to hit apply. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a new animation controller right here in the folder. Is animator controller. Just call him Skelly. Open that guy up, and I'm going to start with the idle that I just created. So boom, he's set up. I'm going to come over here, and I just need to give this the animation controller that I just set up called Skelly. So let's just make sure that that works, and then we'll start downloading more clips, and we'll set them up just the same way we did Gingy. except we're grabbing them animation clip at a time. And I think I deleted my camera. So when this gets done compiling, it's going to tell me I have nothing to look at. I'll bet. Yep. Cool. All right. So we'll give him a camera. There it is, camera. I knew it was in that. All right. So his name is now Skelly, I guess. For now, I'm just going to make the camera a child of him until I get it tested. Same way we did Gingy, and then move it back and up and point at him. Okay. And it looks like we're actually getting movement since we're his child. We're like the camera's moving as he's moving around for that animation. Let me see if I can fix that with this. I'll just uncheck apply root motion. Yeah. So the animation was actually moving the character, which we don't want it to do. We just want to play the animation. So I just uncheck that. We're good to go. All right. I can start grabbing more animations, but first I'm gonna start by setting this guy up the same way we did Gingy, and I'll just start with the Gingy controller. So Gingy moves, and then we'll make a copy of it later as needed. So I'll add that to him. And he's going to need a capsule collider. He's going to be our main character. Matthew, could you make sure that Micah is here but tardy? And then if there's anyone else I can call out later, we'll do that. I'm going to make that a little taller because I know he's squatted down right now. Got that. I'm going to add the rigid body so that we can make him jump later. Freeze his rotations. We can freeze all of this. So what the rigid body is doing, besides giving us something that we can boost up, is making him react to the environment. So if I just check all of these things, say freeze everything, he can still move and rotate via script, but the physics engine won't move him around. So like he won't run into a wall and like have it send him spinning or knock him down or whatever. So I'm just going to lock all those. And then I'll give him the one more box collider at his feet for our terrible ground check. Down, and I'm going to set that to 0.5 and 0.5 on the X and the Z. So that's underneath. All right. And the box collider needs to be a trigger. Finally, I'm just going to tell it where the camera is at, which I called the camera Skelly. Just label it as a camera. All right. We'll test this, and then we'll start adding animations. So I don't have anything in there but idle. And since I froze his other position, then he's not falling to the ground. So that's on me. All right, let me go back to his rigid body, and I'm just going to keep the rotation freezes on. Basically, when I said freeze, I said gravity doesn't affect you either, which isn't what I want to do. All right, so he moves. I guess we can call that a jump. So he does this thing. All right, save my scene. And then we'll just go grab some more animation clips. Super fun. We need a run. Kind of liked that Naruto run. Ooh, backwards run. We'll need that. And there's that one. Yeah, got to do it. It's too fun. All right. And so it's going to keep the same settings. We'll just download run. One thing I didn't do on the other one was a backwards run. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. And once you've selected it over here and it applies, then that's the thing you're downloading. So download that. And I'm going to grab a couple of strafes. Will he automatically have a pistol in his hand when he strafes? Probably not. Here we go. I like this. We got a pair. So I've got jog strafe left. I'll grab that. And jog strafe right. Download that. And we just keep going. Jumps, attacks, Fortnite dances. Oh yeah. We'll call that a jump. It looks just ridiculous enough. All right. So here in downloads now, I've got a whole bunch of new things to install. So let's grab them all at once. Pull them in. And each one of these is coming again with the FBX, which isn't necessarily what I need. So let me see. That's the one I'm using as my base. So I'll use that. All called Mixamo.com. Fantastic. I don't know if I need to set the rigs for each of these. I'm just going to try this. I'm just going to pull the animation clip out of each of those, and this is backwards run. So highlight, Control D. I don't know which one I was on. Jog strafe. Shoot. Let everything freeze. There we go. Strafe left. So I'm going to call it that. So S left. I'm just going to call it. S right. Jump. And that amazing run. So now I've got them all here as clips. Do to them. So jump won't loop, run will loop. So I'll check that. Backwards run will loop. Strafes will have loop. Now I can start dragging all those in. So for the strafe, run, backwards run, jump, Is that all we grabbed? Yeah, we'll do attacks and dances some other time. And I'm just going to have transitions back and forth to each of these. Set my parameters. Boolean. Is walking F for forward, and I'll do another one for is walking B for backwards. Strafe left. Strafe right, and then again a trigger for the jump. I don't remember what I called all those exactly in the script, but we're going to adapt it anyway. Okay. I got to set all these up. So I don't want an exit time there. I don't want any exit times out of any of these. So I'm just going to uncheck all those. I do want one from jump to idle. I want that jump animation to finish, and then this one has no exit time since it's from any state. All right. Now the parameters. It's a lot of manual work. Is walking forward true, goes to run. Is walking forward false, goes back to idle. And so on and so forth. Terrible, just terrible. All right. We shouldn't do any of these things now since we have. Yeah, so he's just idling because we're not calling any of those parameters yet in our script. Good deal. Add a new script just for him. And I'm just going to basically copy paste everything we had in skeleton moves, in Gingy moves to this new script. So I'm going to pull that off, remove the Gingy moves. Open Skelly moves. This is a very technical artist week. Just a lot of setup, dragging, dropping, clicking. But it's all important stuff. Now let me go find, I don't want that open. I'm also going to open Gingy moves so that I can borrow from myself. All right. I'll grab everything inside the class, and then we can add to it. Wow. then I just change the name of that. So if I highlight it and rename, then I can change everything in the class that has that name. So now I was looking for animate Skelly, and then I need to, I guess first I'm just gonna first I'm just gonna check my trigger names, my parameter names. So is walking, start jumping. I don't know what I named everything. Oh, yeah, because I added parameters to them. So I got is walking F and should jump are the main ones I need to switch over. So is walking. Change to should jump. I'm going to do a little bit of goofy stuff here. So I've got this movement for vertical. Change this up. So instead of this, well, in addition to this, I'll do that. So copy this, paste it in again, make this an else if. For whatever reason, I couldn't spell the word else on the first try to save my life. All right, so if the vertical input is greater than 0, then we'll set walking forward. If the vertical input is less than 0, then we'll do walking backwards. Else, it's 0, then we're just going to set both of those back to false. Let's just test that. But what now? Dang it. Okay. I tried to shortcut it. It's my fault. Test. I pulled all those out differently. Let me just do it the way I know works. So let me make sure that this rig is set to humanoid. And loops and save it. I'm going to delete that. And use this run now instead. So let me see if I can get that in there. Shoot. And just retarget this one. So instead of that, let me just make this do that. There we go. Let's see if that fixed the forward run at least. Yeah. All right. My fault. All my fault. Trying to go faster. It slowed me down. So I'm going to get rid of all of these so I don't confuse myself. The good news is I can just retarget in my animation controller. I don't have to reset all that up. So what did I fix? I fixed run, running backwards. I'm just going to go through the motions here. I think that what's happening is I didn't set the rig type to humanoid before I extracted the animation. So rename that. Run back. Loop. Apply. hook it up. And the jump. Set the rig to humanoid. Apply. Rename the animation. Don't want it to work. It's a nice proper backwards walk and a fast Naruto run. It's the shaking of the pelvic bones for me is the hilarious part. Right. We got that part. Let me just check the jump actually. Rename that. Change the jump force to 10. Oh. Didn't reset that up. So I'm going to hook the player camera back up. And let's go see why jumping's not working. Rename that, didn't I? I thought I did that. Should jump. Oh, I didn't set the condition. Should jump. Okay. That should do it. Oh, yeah. That's satisfying. And then the same thing we did here, I'll just do the strafe really quick. You can add in the attacks and stuff. So here we go. So I got all this for vertical movement. I can set all of that the same way for horizontal and call our strafes. So just copy, paste. All right, so if horizontal is greater than 0, we'll just take a guess that, what do we call those? Strafe L and strafe R. Which one's left? Positive? Let's pretend. Save that. Go. Doesn't look right, does it? Just switch those. Looked like that was going to break his ankles, which are already weak. Yeah, that looks better. I want to get to the Cinemachine camera, so we're going to call this where it's at. That's just his idle move, man. It's crazy. Um, the other thing we could do is we already have code in here for run speed versus walk speed. So there we could speed up the running animation. So I can access that animation and in code. And if you remember in the animator, we could set the speed of it. So something fun to do. Maybe we'll come back to it. I want to do it, but I also want to make sure we get the Cinemachine stuff done. So, well, the Cinemachine stuff, we got a great 4-minute video that I think the guy's probably going to be better than I am anyway. So we've got that on Canvas. You'll need to get the package. So we're going to get the package manager, look in the Unity registry for Cinemachine, and install it. Micah Jones, you use Cinemachine a bunch already, haven't you? So we're just going to do a follow camera, which is awesome. And we'll set up some obstacle avoidance so that the camera like won't clip into walls or like zoom in. There's all kinds of cool stuff we can do. Another thing that he's done with it is set up cutscenes. So he had like you jump into a ship and the camera would pull out and do all kinds of stuff. You can set up dolly tracks and everything. Cinemachine's fun. Cinemachine is not covered on the game dev thing. So in the past we haven't spent time on it, but I think that's to our detriment because it's just cool. And why write a bunch of code for stuff when it exists? Dun, dun. So now I should be able to add just a camera in here. So yeah, so I got a new deal here, Cinemachine. I'm gonna do a free look camera. And I'm going to tell it to follow my skeleton. And then we can play with the look at. So I'm going to just get rid of this. So Skelly Cam, I'm going to just hide. I can pull the camera stuff out of my, or I can just make this. Yeah, let's try this. On the skeleton, I'll see if I can give it the new free look camera. Seems to work. Anyway, so free look doesn't have to be a child. We tell it to follow the skeleton. What it's going to do, though, is it's going to follow the pivot point of the skeleton, so it's going to be pointed at his feet at all times. So we can just say follow his head or his body or something else. Or you can add just an empty like we do when we're saying, hey, this is where we want to shoot the projectiles from. But I'm just going to give it, for now, we'll give it his head. So free look is going to look at head. I'm trying to remember what else we got to do here. Add an extension, which is going to be collider, Cinemachine collider. There's nothing in our scene right now. But this is what it'll say. Hey, don't hit the walls. Let's just see if this even works as is. Fun. Free look camera is not tagged main camera, so nothing knows what to do. All right. Tag your new Cinemachine camera as the main camera, and we'll see if that helps. Fantastic. Give you a look at target. Huh? You still have to have it? Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Cinemachine is just controlling that camera. You're right. My bad. I'll get it back, Skelly. Yeah. Huh?
Put the camera outside of it and then get the camera and then follow it this way as a child of it.
So would the free look Cinemachine camera make it a child?
I'm trying to make it go around it. Right?
Yeah.
So things will flip around it. Still is.
Let's change the
Yeah.
I used to make it.
So the problem being now that it's not rotating my guy. It's kind of goofy. See if it behaves any different as a child. I don't know why it's still looking at his feet. Anyway, again, the 4-minute video is going to be much better at doing what we want it to do. So I'm just going to delete that for now. And what was the thing I was wanting to do? Oh, the speed of the animation, I think. Slider. Just dot speed. Okay. That easy. All right. Oh, just kidding. One. All right. See how badly that messes things up. You know what? Let's just make sure it's working. Get up to 20. No blast. And strafing. So 20 is a bit much, but using the extreme number lets us know that it's definitely doing something. So yeah, so we'll just, if shift is held down, and we could probably do it better so it doesn't affect everything. But right now, if shift is held down, it just speeds up all the animations. Try it at like 3, so it's still goofy and extreme, but not that goofy and extreme. Should have just set this to be. Um, I think by default it's almost twice as fast, right? So my default walk speed is 5, run speed is 8, but those are exposed here in the inspector. So I don't think I reset them, so they're still 5 and 8. You could literally math it. Yeah. Yeah. So just take, times walk speed divided by runs, whatever. So. Run speed divided by walk speed? Yeah, that would be it. Yeah. It's less goofy. Makes sense. Yeah. The best part for me is that he can Naruto on as a walk now. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. So run your animations really fast, slow down the time of everything else, and we can get a lot of cool motion blurs out of post processing. We can make the Flash video game that we still haven't had yet. All right. So you need 2 more of those. So we need the gingerbread man, the cookie man, and then 2 of these Mixamo style built characters. And man, like there's just a ton of goofy stuff here. There's dances and yeah, chicken dance. That'd be a good idol. What the snake hip hop dance looks. It looks to me like they need to use the restroom. I don't know what's happening there. Tons of stuff in here. So if I just I don't know where they're sourcing all these animations, but they're fantastic. I don't know. I don't know if that's what this one does. Like old man idol versus energetic idol. Dying. Like there's just so much good stuff here. Yeah. Well, and yeah, so it's interesting. We've sourced animation. Somebody keyframed these at some point. I'm hoping they got paid for it, but now they're being used everywhere. And so unless you need something super custom, this does it, right? Yeah, and I've tried the, maybe just because the way I did it, I tried a pack and none of them worked, but maybe I just didn't set them all up individually like I had to do just now. But yeah, there's entire. He just ran away.
Yeah, he walked up
And so it's going through all.
to him. No, that's a problem. He's moving.
Oh, no, no, no. So you can adjust that.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. So there are settings. I'm glad we're still recording for this. There are settings here in the animations. So if I go like to the jump, I think I had to do this for one of them. So jumpy here, or I'll just go this guy. So on the animation itself, you can check or uncheck bake into pose. And so by default, they're not on. Some of them were on at one point when I was playing with this, and it did that. It like actually moved the character. And so turning those on or off helps. And the other thing is if I have on my animator controller here, apply root motion, then he's going to literally move all over instead of playing the animation in place. But those frames don't have to be there. So yeah, otherwise that would be totally useless. All right, so let's just go as we like to do, or at least I like to do. So there's no confusion. We'll go over our rubric and make sure we covered everything and see if there's any questions before we get out of here. All right, so we're using URP just because. And I started, yeah, because we looked at a lot of URP asset packs. We're using Gingy at least for the or one of the cookies in the demo scene as the player, and then the other cookie is the bad guy in the demo scene, and it's just a quick little like, can I fight cookies? So new Gingy, it's all separated up, so that's all Cookie Man stuff. Now we need to, in our game scene, we need a total of 4 characters, 2 cookies and 2 whatever else, or 4 other characters. If you don't want the cookies in your game scene, it's more work. We need a total of 4 characters in here. We need some nav mesh guys, dumb AIs who just walks and then stays idle. And the thing we can do with the nav mesh guys is we have different states. Like he's chasing us and he's going to stop and attack and he's going to do all that. We looked at some of that when we were doing nav meshes. We'll just call the same animation clip stuff from the nav mesh, right? So if we've made it to our we're a nav mesh, we start our walking trigger or Boolean. Once we've made it to our destination, we just set walking to false and he goes back to idling. It's pretty simple with these triggers and stuff. So we've got so a dumb AI character just walks somewhere and then stays idle. We want a smart AI who just walks at the player all the time. And then probably the smart AI, when they get close to the player, they'll start their attack animation. We want the smart AI to do something when they get hit. And then just make sure there's a total of 4 characters in your game level. And I think, yeah, so this one that's referenced here, a nice large-ish and fun level, that needs to be the game level. So I'm just going to go ahead and change that. Game level. And I do want you to put time in on that. So let's make it worth more points. Okay, makes sense. We've done a lot of this. We're just kind of kit bashing things we've learned. We're using nav mesh. We're using animations. We're using attacks. I want to be able to win or lose, so the attacks need to do something. Other than that, it's not a lot of new stuff. Most of the animations is the new stuff. We good? Makes sense? You don't have to use shirtless zombies? Okay, all right, we're all good then.